Hey Brian, hi Sasha.
Hi, Eric.
Hope you guys
So,
are well. How's it going?
okay, how are you? How's your
Good.
vacation so far?
I'm away from town. I'm in Italy right now, but I'm working, as you can see.
Yes, let me see.
So, but it's been good. It's just getting used to the time zone. Not so much from a physical standpoint, just from a I have people 9 hours away, 6 hours away, 5 hours away. It's just it's hard to get used to. But the calendars make it easier.
So
So
you just stay in Italy?
yeah, I'll be here for the next 4 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So I'll work from here. I'll do what I do.
So is it vacation?
Well, sort of. I mean, it's less stress, but
You're working?
I'm working. Yeah, I'm working now. So
Who's in Italy? Is that just your family go visit?
no, it's just me. I'm learning learning the language and maybe trying to meet some new people. And I have family in one of the cities that I'm going to visit. But for right now, it's just taking classes, and then when I'm not doing classes, helping you guys out on this end.
Oh, so you're not on vacation.
Well, I don't know what a vacation is really. I'm not.
Hmm.
I don't know how to just go and do nothing. I have to have something to do, which is good, I guess. I mean, if the family was with me, we might go do some museums and tour and stuff. But right now, I'm just gonna focus on me for a couple weeks.
Who's
So,
that? Who's that guy
who's
right there?
that?
There's somebody there that looks a freaking doesn't even look recognizable.
Brian, it's October. Don't you know what happens in
Do we know
October?
him?
We
Who
take
is
Halloween very
that?
serious. We take Halloween serious in this household.
Apparently, apparently.
Hey, Eric, I used to host foreign exchange students a long time ago when my kids were little. I couldn't afford back then to take them traveling like I can now.
Yeah,
So I brought the world to us.
yeah,
I've
that's
had
smart.
students from all over the world stay with us, and it was a
Yeah.
really enriching experience. So I applaud you for immersing yourself. I was just saying to Dalton last night, I want to go to Italy and just like live there for a year because I just want to just take in the whole culture and just get the language down.
Well, I'm in a class, and there's a lot of us in the class in our 50s. I'd say probably 80% are there as just, they're empty nesters and they just get away from, town they're all here for like a month, 2 months, 3 months. There's one guy down here from Germany, and it's mostly Germans. Germans in Brazil are mostly the people that are here. So it's fun. Do it. Life's too short. So, but today's call is attraction. So we want to attract so we don't have to work so hard, right? So we can have some of that free time. So, any wins? Anything? You guys have anybody you've been talking to, or anybody getting good conversations going?
I just sent Larry an email. I've been talking to this gentleman for about 6 months now, and he and I've already had a Zoom call, and I think it's time for to pull out the big guns. Sometimes it just takes hearing it from somebody else too. He's currently with Redfin, and they like give him buyer leads. But he's like, how are you getting these listings? Da, 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 da. I said, well, I'd love to share. I talked to him about the EXP experience and, how, rewarding that's been for me. And so he's like, oh, I'm like, well, I kind of have to see, well, if I can get you on, the calendar for, another gentleman or two to see what we can do for you. So that's pretty much how I left it. So it wasn't like, oh, here me just throwing you the ball and you catch it. It's sort of like he needed to be qualified a bit.
Yeah, qualify them. Make it almost as if you're going to see if you can make a special arrangement to get them to have a conversation. You don't make it too easy.
Right, right. So I
That's
forwarded you his email, Larry, to see if we can't get something to schedule for later in this week. And
Yeah,
you know,
I sent you my calendar link and stuff
okay,
there.
okay.
Yeah, so it looks like I have some time on Thursday, but just reach out to him and say, hey, look, I was able to connect with Larry. He has, Thursday at 1 or 2 o'clock available. Which one works best for you?
Okie doke, will do. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I just set up a time with the agent earlier today. I never give his calendar out. I never let them book on their own. No, Larry will give them their calendar after they've made maybe a cancellation or something. But and I don't maybe if he has 10 times available that day, I say, would you prefer morning or afternoon? If it's just morning, would you prefer early morning or late morning? And I usually just give him two choices and the two times. Or if he only has one time on his calendar, that's what they get, and he had some for Thursday, and yeah, I just told the person he has a 1:30 or 2 o'clock. Which would you prefer? It's you just get them on the calendar, and we'll do the rest. Now with my calendar, there's usually only, at least for the next month, there's only one time available per day. I might open it up a little bit depending on how I see things going, but right now I'm all over the place with things going on here. It's just been crazy 2 days. So anybody, Brian, you have anybody you're talking to? Anybody, any info you need from us or?
I don't have any specific needs, but we are compiling a list of asset companies that, as a team, we want to go after some different asset companies out there and see if we can obtain some more of that kind of business. So we're compiling that list, and then I'm going to start reaching out and seeing who's got contacts for those people, Larry, and others. Yeah.
Well, why don't I help you by just sending you over a list of asset management companies now, so you don't have to find them all? Would that help?
Nah. Yeah, we'd love to do the extra work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great, Larry. We'd love that. We really want to get after that. We've been talking as a team about doing that. So yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay, it's coming over here shortly.
Thank you. Yeah, I think we're going to take it from Larry's list at this point. We're going to take that out and try to reach out to a lot of the contacts that we've already have that may already be handling assets for these different asset management companies and try to go in the back door if we can.
Yeah, it's just a matter of, finding the agents that want to do what you do. And a lot of agents that want to do what we do in the REO space don't have a clue as to where to start. And even if they do have a clue as to where to start, they haven't been doing it long enough. We've been taking people and just basically shortcutting it for them. We have a couple agents right now. They have 3 assets each, and they've been doing REO for like a month.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
because they're agreeing to our terms. They're mentoring, they're doing BPOs, everything's being reviewed. We're not letting them loose until we're 100% certain it's going to be done perfectly. But this is where you could create value for somebody, and you could be that mentoring them up the ladder. And it doesn't have to be in Phoenix. It doesn't have to be in Florida or Washington State or LA. It could be anywhere in the country. But they have to have that commitment to want to learn. Even if they've been doing REO for 20 years, they still have to understand that American Destiny does it a lot different because we have certain systems. Now, they might catch on after one asset. Well, you might catch on after one BPO. It might not be a big deal for them, but we can't take that risk to piss off a client because they tell you they have lots of experience and they really had less than they let on to. I think real estate agents may exaggerate just a tad. Not a lot of experience in that realm, but that could be true. So.
And like the common thing that I'm hearing right now, like, oh my gosh, Larry, at one point I was carrying 30 assets. I was doing this. I'm like, oh, great. When was your last? Well, I haven't had anything since COVID, right? Is the most common response. Most of them since like 2016, 17, actually, right? And so like there's a lot of dust in in the gears and stuff like that, right? Like we got to dust these cobwebs off, and just because you did it then, shit's changed doesn't mean you can do it now, and just because you didn't do it then doesn't mean that you were good at it either, right? Like we want to increase this standard as well, so that way, like, look, we're all in the preferred status, but we still have to perform at the highest level possible. Imagine if our preferred network was just not agents in our group, but the best REO agents in the industry that are also within our group. And, on top of completing all the tasking, communicating with the asset managers, we have professional photography, we have Matterport, right? All this other stuff that we've been trained on. And now that's our baseline, right? So now it's not like, hey, I'll sell your home for the highest price. Like, no, this is what we do. This is how we do it. Let me show you,
Awesome.
right? Like, what are your people? And that's just the standard package, right, of what you get with us.
Yeah,
Quick question. I know that I'm sponsoring my son Dalton. Did we get every bit of his paperwork all completed now?
as far as I know, we did. I think he was filling out stuff for Brandon and getting that
Yeah,
uploaded to
that's
him.
done.
And
That part's done, yeah.
I looked at his bid on homes last week, and it was up to date.
Okay, great,
And I
great.
have him
And
on my, like, Eric and I started a weekly meeting for him and I. I know he's on my list to just confirm that everything is all squared away and stuff like that. Because
Okay,
Eric and
good,
I look
good.
at different things. So he's on my list to talk about next week for sure.
Excellent, because he's got loads of experience. He's been my teammate forever, since like 14.
he is also on the spreadsheet, so he's there. So yeah, I mean, it looks like his zip code is it different? No, you're in Dunellen,
Denellen,
Dunellen,
yeah.
and he's in Ocala. Is that correct? You guys live in different places, or
No, did
oh,
he put the wrong zip code?
well, I went by what was on EXP on the what you guys put on for EXP. So I'll confirm that.
Okay.
What's different zip codes? I don't think
Yeah,
they're
but
very
he lives
far
in my
apart.
house because I don't live here year round. So I don't want the place being empty. It's a 4-bedroom house. There's no reason why someone shouldn't be here when I'm not.
Yeah, I thought maybe that was the case, but
Yeah.
let me just while we're talking, I'll pull them up in EXP just to see.
Okay. But Ocala is the nearest like big city.
Right.
But we're sort of halfway between Crystal River and Ocala.
Okay. Yeah, you're in Dunellen. That's where what you have in EXP is your city,
Denellen, yes.
Dunellen,
Yeah.
and he has Ocala as his city. So maybe I mean I can
Well, he
change it
knows
on us.
Ocala better than I do. He used to be a UPS delivery guy, for an extra job at Christmas. So, just to put away some extra buckaroons. He really knows the
Okay,
area.
I take that back. His says Dunellen also. So yeah, okay, I'll fix that on the spreadsheet. It shouldn't matter. I also have Ocala for both you guys. Um, but what else do we want to talk about? What else is you guys thinking about on the attraction side of things?
Well, James Cottrell helped me walk me through how to get my contacts out of my phone. And I had been putting a certain code next to anybody who's a real estate agent for like years. Not sure why I was doing that. Just did that. So like I can go through that now. I don't maybe have all their email addresses in there, but I certainly have all their phone numbers with their name and that they're a real estate agent. So I can spread that out on a spreadsheet separately and export that. So my plan is to start just calling one a day and saying, hey, it's been a while since we connected. How's it going? And see where the conversation takes us.
Yeah, and then what will be your product for each call?
I think my first call would just to be to say hi because, especially if we haven't talked in a while, I don't want to like throw something at them first time. Hey, I just, want to say hi, see how you're doing.
Okay,
You
so then I
know,
would say
we
your
haven't talked in
product
a
would
while. How are
be,
things going?
you might want your product then to be, hey, I'll follow, it'd be okay if I followed up with you in a month or so.
Yep,
Because
yep.
that's anytime I have a call with somebody, there's something I want to get out of that call. And typically for me, it's a that person on Larry's calendar. Because
Mhm.
once it gets on Larry's calendar, he has a system that is infallible, and that person will get taken through the different stages of incubation.
Okay.
Um, my system isn't as good, but I think we complement each other. That's any
Yeah.
agent that we're working with. We should just talk about, what is the product, and then how will we complement each other. Um, so you start the conversation, maybe somewhere along the line you turn it over to me, I turn it over to Larry, and then eventually that person is onboarding. If they're
Did have a
REO,
quick, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if they are REO, I would definitely try to get them on my calendar to get into our network. 'Cause probably the easiest. Uh, it's so easy. It's like it's very easy. I'll
Well,
have a
right, but I
conversation with
mean,
them.
but how many competing agents do I want in my own market, though? Is what, sort of where I kind of, that's a thought I have, right? So I'm sure one of you guys has something to say to me about that.
Think bigger.
Think bigger. Well, I know,
Think bigger.
I mean, look at us at Five
Like,
Star. I mean, Jared and B and I hung out a lot, and we're competing agents, and we get along great. And I mean, we
like,
really enjoy each other's company.
here's
We
the
had a
thing.
blast.
One agent will never get 100%. Like literally, like American Debt. I was talking to Darren last week, and he was like, "We need more coverage in Washington." Like, you're vulnerable if one agent has 30 listings. Like, you're vulnerable.
Right.
Like, if something happens to them, excuse my language, we're fucked, right? Like, that's a hard place. But if Angela has 4 or 5 other people that she has a vested interest in, whether we're mentoring, whether it's just revenue share because you don't have to do anything, again, like let's say all 3 of you guys are maxed out at 30. Now business is going to start going to outside companies. Why? Because you guys were like, oh, like trying to hold on, like that is the old NRBA type mentality. Like, no, don't tell anybody what we're doing. Screw that. I'm going to tell you my plan and kick your ass. Like, that is how confident I am. And there's going to be more business, and the cream always rises to the top. Always. Like, we're trying to service these clients better than anybody else. Imagine if you found somebody that was better than you
Wow.
and they
Well,
grew a
yeah,
team of
thanks for the
100
verbiage, because
people
that was
underneath.
the objection I was getting stuck on, you guys. So I'm like, I'm just going to ask this question the same way they say it to me and see what feedback I get. And thank you for that verbiage. Now I've got something I've, got clicked in here that'll just come right out and I can say that.
I mean, literally, the common question, well, how much are you going to guarantee me? I'm not. What are you going to guarantee me? And don't tell me I've never had a late task. BS, then you haven't done enough REOs, because there's some tasks that you cannot stop from going red because it's not in your control, right? Like,
Yeah, like
so don't tell
contractors and
me
insurance
like,
adjusters and things like that, right?
yeah, so don't tell me that unless you can, like, you're not going to guarantee, are you going to guarantee me $30 million in production a year? Well, then I'm not going to, like, I can guarantee you that I'm going to open up this door for you. Give you a list of people that are crushing it, that have joined us, right? And if you have something better, you should stay there. If your company is not supporting you and help driving you business, well, then you should look at this. And what's the worst that happens? In 6 months, you say Larry was full of BS and you go back. Like, that's a worst case scenario.
Yeah, I'd like nothing better than to just be that person who's supporting a whole bunch of other people and letting them run around and do the field work and the paperwork
Mhm.
and all of that. I mean, that's my, that's the end goal, right? Is to be there for others.
Yeah. And so this is where it might start with you growing a team. But again, if you're trying to recruit me, like, obviously I don't need to be on a team. right? Like you're just saying, look, let's get you in, let's get you in, right? Like, because you want me to come in and build a team underneath you, right? Like, so this is where it doesn't have to, again, think bigger. You're not, as long as you keep doing what you're doing, you will continue to be fed, Angela, like guaranteed.
Mhm.
Right? Like now, you stop responding to asset managers, you stop doing tasks, you stop hitting the marks, business will fall. I promise you. It's
Yeah.
all based on the numbers.
I actually took a day off the other day for the first time in a month. But I do continue. And even on my day off, I answer the phone and I check my email. And if a task is due, it's not a day off. So just how it is. Get it
Yes.
done.
Yes, ma'am. So that's what I don't worry too much about that. Bay just had a similar conversation with me and stuff. I was like, look, they're going to find coverage. Either you help them find coverage or they're going to find coverage without you. One way you're still involved and you have a say. Which one do you want?
Well, I was there looking for the script and now you've provided it. Thank you so much, Larry.
Yes.
So I guess getting back to where that all started is, if you want the product to be having them a conversation with me about ADR, my next one will be getting them on Larry's calendar. So it's a step-by-step process. If they're not REO, then we just have to find what your value proposition would be for that agent, whether it's mentoring them or everybody wants more leads. I mean, that's the easiest thing. But can we provide that to them? That's the hard part of it. We can with REO, but can we with in other ways? I don't know the answer to that question right now. But if we figure
Here's
it
the thing
out.
with Angela, like open house agents, buyer leads agent, right? Like there's a lot of stuff that I know that you listing agents are letting fall through the cracks. Right. So this is where, again, every agent that we talk to is going to have a different evolution, a different game plan and stuff like that.
I would love to have a buyer's agent do all my open houses. I would love nothing more.
Yeah.
Invite them.
And here's the thing, if they do that for a certain period of time and close that, look, you want to get into the REO listing space? I'll help you. It's going to take 6 months of you doing an open house every single week, putting those leads into your CRM, cultivating them, doing this, showing me that you can put in the work. Like if you're not willing to put in the work, I'm not willing to open that door. Test them, right? You don't have to just open the door and be like, here you go, it's a free for all. That's not the way that the system is set up. Like I will help anybody that wants to be here and that wants to work and wants to put in the time. We've all spent way too long building this. We need people that are going to add value to us and vice versa. We can add a lot of value to people in a number of different ways, but they have to put in the work.
Well, any other questions with the last 5 or 6 minutes that we have on this call? Because I have to jump on 1 o'clock. Or what time
I
is
have
it there?
a question, Eric.
Go
Okay,
for
this
it,
is Sasha.
Sasha. Yeah.
So I do have a few names on my list, and I just don't know how to start, talking to them. These people used to work with me at Century 21. So I don't know. I feel like maybe I don't have enough uh, credibility to share yet, but I know you know my situation and my production so far. So I guess, maybe you can guide me how to talk to these people. I haven't really bring it up, but I share with them some like, I've been taking listing and I did referral one mobile home for them to take listing, but I didn't take the fee for the mobile home listing, but I took the fees for them to brought that client after sold the mobile home and then bought another single family home. So I did get referral fee from that. So I gave it to two agents to share. My purpose is to, give them, what I trying to help them. I invite them to the open house that I did, but they just couldn't make it. So I tried to create value ahead of time, a few months back now, like 6 months. So I think it's time for me to say something or do something, but I just, don't know how to start it.
Larry, you want to take this one? This is your wheelhouse.
Uh, yes, so we have a relationship and stuff, right? And this is where, I mean, every time you reach out, you want to add some sort of value. This is why I take so many notes in my database, right? So let me just look at somebody that's on my follow-up list today, Amy Glesh, right? She's licensed in Idaho and Oregon, right? I know this. I know that she's on a 98% split, because she's been at her brokerage and stuff for so long. And so her question is like, well, why would I'm on a 98% split, right? And I'm doing this. So I'm like, oh man, that's great. That must mean that you're a top producer. That must mean this, and this, right? And so now going through, I mean, if she did, 20 plus million in production last year, right? And, made, let's say, call it $300,000, I know that that was more expensive, right? So what if we could increase production by making her a preferred agent in 2 separate states and doing this and doing that? So it's part of it is, what do you know about this agent that would help them right now? Find that out. And now we reach out, and this is where I would use that to set up an appointment with Eric and just follow the system. Hey, I remember you were saying that you were interested in doing more of this or doing more of this. Like, I have a great mentor of mine that's actually helping me on that same front. Like, you wanted to take more listings. This guy has helped some agents take 30 plus listings right now. Like, I know he has some time available Wednesday at 3 or Thursday at 4. Like, do you have time either one of those days? And I'll put something on his calendar for him. So again, when you call, you don't have to answer everybody's life questions and stuff like that. It's not, I wish I could teach you a script that was instantaneously get them to be like, oh yeah, let's join EXP. It's not like that. It's really figuring out what they need and then continuing to give them that. Hey, oh my gosh, you were talking about a business plan. Joseph Limo is, getting ready to start that, because for the new year, he's one of our national coaches in our group. Like, I get to chat with him for free. Do you want to come join that class with me?
Okay.
Looking on Workplace on the referral network. Oh my gosh, you're in, Rancho Cucamonga. I just saw 3 referrals go over there that day. Like, man, I would love to get you involved with that network. Again, I'm giving you examples because every agent is different. There is not a one size fits all, but this is where it's a listing presentation. It's an agent presentation where what I'm doing is pre-qualifying them, figuring out where their problems are. And then as they're talking, I'm taking notes like, oh, they would be great for this. Oh, they would be really interested for this. Oh, they're licensed in multiple different states. Now they can have one cap, one fee, which reduces the cost, and doing this. And so it's really kind of strategizing a plan for that agent. And I'm only doing that for the people that talk with me, because I know if they've talked with me, they've made it through 2 other steps already. So there's some interest, right? Like, these people are taking some action items, and that's why the system that Eric and I have is going so well, right? He sends me over some notes. I dig into those notes. I see where they want to go, how they want to get there, etc. And then we add them, then we invite them to our Facebook page. I want them to connect with me on social media because I post all of these testimonials and this and this and this and this and this, right? So now we're just building this credibility piece. And then I come back and I say, well, hey, Brian, man, I was just talking, there's a group of 4 different assets. They're looking for preferred listing agents. I know that you had mentioned to me, Brian, that you wanted to do more listings and use that to build a team, like if that interests you, put some time on my calendar. And as soon as they click that link, I'm like, got them, right? Like, because now we've been communicating with them for 3 months. There's rapport, there's relationship, there's credibility, there's testimonials. And even if they're like, well, Larry, I think I'm good where I'm at. Hey, you're still in my referral network. Don't worry about it. But if you ever want to get those opportunities for partners to be sending you 10, 15, 20 listings a year, that's the exciting part. That door is always open and you can reach back out to me. And now they're going to go on a quarterly market update where I'm reaching out and saying, well, Brian, I know your goal was to take more listings. How'd you do this last 3 months? Oh man, do you know the 2 agents that I have in that group that we spoke about last time? One has 13 listings and one has 12 right now. With that, like, do you want to reevaluate that? Yes, no, doesn't matter to me. It's not going to affect my life, but it could drastically affect theirs.
10 and 12 listings from where? From the, you mean talking about REO and relocation, all of that?
Yeah, through some of our different sources. Now, you can't compare the markets. Like, that's Arizona market, much different than California market. At some
Right.
point, I promise you, California will be there. And that's what we're doing, is setting up and positioning you guys for when that flow starts coming in California, that you guys have those similar experiences. We just don't control the funnels. I don't control California or this. California and Florida, like Florida's getting a lot of institutional business, very dry on REO right now. I think that will change. There's condos laws, there's all of this stuff, right? So every market is different, but it's about setting up and being in the position when that business starts flowing that we take advantage of all of it.
Sasha, what you could do is send me an email with each person and like all their notes, everything, all the notes about that person, and then we can review them one by one, and then make a decision on how we want to talk to them.
Approach. Okay.
Yeah, we'll create like a little game plan for each person, but do it as detailed as possible. You know, I spoke to, when was the last time you spoke to the person, what you guys talked about, what their issues could be, what they told you their issues are, what their pain points are, their production, where they want to be, that kind of stuff. And we can put a plan together. And that goes for anybody on this call. If you have agents that you want us to talk to, the more we know about the person, we can help strategize it. We can't make that first initial call, or we can, you know, it just depends. It just depends. If maybe they're ready to be reached out to, we'll reach out and just have a call with them and say, hey, you know, Angela said give you a call. This is what we should talk about. How's it going? And we'll just take it from there. So
Okay. We do the game plan.
yeah, let's do a game plan. So I have to run, but is there anything else you guys need real quick? I have to get ready for the 1:30 call with Darren here coming up in about 25 minutes.
Eric, did Starla ever put time on your calendar?
Yeah, we spoke.
You spoke? Okay.
Yeah.
Just shoot me a recap on that whenever you get a chance. I haven't followed up with her.
I thought I put notes in the CRM group, but I'll double check.
Okay, you may have.
Yeah.
I will check on that as well.
Sounds good.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming today. Anytime you guys need stuff, just reach out.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Okay.
the inspiration, guys.
All right, we'll see you.
See you guys.